ready to jump into the first map of Nuke. This is going to be the pick of complexity. Navi starting on the CT side. How will this one break down the further we jump into it? Only time will tell. Hashtag IEM over there on the favorite Twitter sphere. Let's get a pistol round underway, Hugo.
Yes, indeed. Lots of damage done. It's a fast A attack for Cologne. The nades will get eaten alive, but so will Navi. A site is lost. Electronic smoked out, and Boomich actually does return fire from above. Flamey's wrap lobby. Flame's not watching, even though the call was made. Rush heard him coming through the ramp room, and even though that kill comes through, Cole will dart back towards the safety of ramp. Dropping B is Electronic. He's already ahead of this rotate, but is that where Cole's going? Yes.
Oh, Electronic. Dropping the bomb, does get cancelled out by Rush. We're left into this 1v1 now. Boomich doesn't have armor either. And this bomb's going back up through the... maybe not, actually. Tries to feign heading towards Vent, but instead just peeks Boomich dry. Rush will lock that one in. And, you know, that first bullet just immediately sends Boomich aims flying. At that point in time, he's pretty much dead in the water. So Complexity, they narrowly get that pistol round locked in. They go 1-0 up, and now they've got a chance to get off to a good start here on their map pick. It's going to be the 4-spy back in for Navi. Scout even dropped over to Simple, letting him save some extra cash as well so that he can look to bring that AWP out early on. Cole with a very measured approach here, just holding back in the lobby. This Scout and Simple outside could get scary. So let's keep our eye on it.
I like the change of pace, right? From a fast pistol bursting A to Cole immediately making the call. They're forcing, because you know they are, and just setting back in the lobby, waiting for aggression. Navi don't give them anything, so Cole go late outside with the smokes. JKS, one of the 2 AKs in the round, still holding on to the lobby. Config near about as well, but here come the smokes down in the yard. 3 of them, it's wide. That gives a lot of room for Blame to go anywhere he wants. It also denies every bit of info for Navi. There could be 5 players behind these smokes for all they know. Simple's watching for a gap. He sees Blame cross down. Cole gonna split the ramp with this secret player, but Blame ain't going down B. He's doubling back outside, looking to lurk as Cole try and take this ramp room. Simple is very quick on his rotation. He hits a tag. Deagle's out for Flamey. He finds some fingers and rips them right off. Flamey with 3. It's a nice shutdown, but the kills are back in for Cole, and they're not going down without a fight.
Oh, and we are immediately back into a 2-on-2, right? That little victory from Flamey is short-lived. Boomich and Perfecto have got to pick up where Flamey left off. And Perfecto is getting wrapped from outside and from ramp. He's getting sandwiched in here. If he finds the kill on a poison, though, that can make all the difference. Now the bomb under his control, and Blame having to rotate in late. Now making noise. And Perfecto knows, drops the smoke, cuts Blame F off, and this has gone terribly wrong for Cole. Yeah. They tried to meet back up in the lobby, but honestly, right, Blame's sneaking there. The time's so low that I think if he sneaks that whole way, he was never even going to get to the lobby in time to begin with. That's a bit of a weird one. A great round from Flamey, and unfortunate timing for Poison as he's left alone in the ramp room.
Yeah, sick hole from Flamey. The danger of why Cole are backing up there is when you throw outside smokes like that and you try and take ramp, the worry of dropping B is that the CT's already there. They've seen the smokes outside. They don't know if they're fake smokes. They don't know if Cole are already in secret, and so Navi might have players lower. Cole don't want to dive into the unknown, the possibility of a stack. And so attempting to group back in the lobby makes sense, but as you said, the time is the undoing. Flamey does it to him. That's a good sign, right? Simple Electronic, always a big talking points, but Flamey, he's had good form recently. Goes through waves. Electronic, he's been red, but he's not going to go any further for now. Config is holding secret from the main roof. A force back in for Cole. The wars are on, early days. Electronic poked his head out and got tagged, but they're going to test Flamey again, and for that I say good luck.
Yeah, this guy's pretty good in the ramp room. Only good for one in this round, though, but there's the rotation in from Simple, and immediately the warning signs are going off. Simple, oh, he's locked down Ramp. 3 kills in the round. And Config, the last man left standing, having a trickle in last in the 1v4. Odds pretty heavily stacked against him here, needless to say. And now giving away the position as well. They know he's here. Simple wants all the kills in the round, and so he's gonna get it. I did like it in that little mini like tidbit that we got from Simple. He was just like, you know, approaching how he is, how it is that he peaks angles. How there's a good bit of thought that goes into it, but also like the mind game of people knowing that they're peeking into Simple, right, at like a favorable fight, and how that can help tip the scales even further his way, right? They've just got to hope that they're able to react faster than he can. And if history's anything to go by, that's not often the case when Simple's on the other side.
I can't imagine, no matter how good you are at this game, like, you know, you're in a clutch, you're against Navi, and you press you're in a one-on-one, and you press the scoreboard, and you see Simple's alive, and like, what goes through your brain? Like, subconsciously, that you can't control, you're like, oh, great, the best player in the world, fantastic. Yeah. Exactly who I wanted to 1v1. And yeah, just that mental game is a lot, right? Like, skill aside, he's in your heads, and it's rent-free every day of the week. Cole on Glocks, hanging around. Not much to do, and not much to do it with.
Just a waiting game here for Navi. And same for Complexity. Looking to gain a little bit of ground and traction and a step in the right direction towards this site. Our eyes seem to be set on upper as it stands. They're going to be going 2 out hut. JKS waiting not far behind. Rush is going to join them as well. But with Glocks, this is going to be a difficult one. Maybe a little bit of a stat padding situation for Perfecto even. Navi put up a 3rd on the board. Easy as that.
Yeah, that's one of the bright sides for Navi on this map. Perfecto's really, really good on that upper site. He's never going to be feeding. He's never going to be aggressing lobby and giving away kills. He's always on the rafters or hot roof, just waiting. And yeah, always good for 1, if not more. Around like that, though, he takes them all down, and it's simple stuff for Navi. Starting strong on the pick of Cole, but here's the buy. This is what we've been waiting for. Cole lost to the Force in the 2nd round. That's kind of dug them a hole, but now they've got their shovels out, and they're going to do some digging of their own. Not a lot of util on this first buy round, but enough for late smokes, as they've shown us already in this T side. Is that going to be something they go back to again? Grouped in the lobby, backing up. Last time they did this, it was the clock that let them down at the end of the round. So something to keep in mind. This time it does look like they'll actually be crossing behind the smokes as well. So secret is the game plan from the offset.
Trying to exploit these smokes again. This time the wall looks a little bit different outside. It's going to prompt some rotation. Simple starts to posture towards ramp room. And Boomich thought he would get cheeky in peeking secret. That turns out to be a fatal error. Blame F. Blue screens him. They continue their pursuit of this lower bomb site. Navi's still a little bit eerie about the idea of someone coming from the lobby. Flamey's going to investigate the control room. Blame F just missing seeing him on his cross. So close yet so far. Flamey's got a pretty pivotal position right here. If somehow he can wrangle in these kills like that one, he might be able to just turn the tide right here. Completely control it. The last bullet on the Blame F. Unbelievable kill. But it was Simple that takes out Rush. This has gone horribly wrong for Complexity Config trying to battle in, but time is not on his side. 10 seconds, he's got to get the bomb planted and fight off Electronic Perfecto. He taps the plant, doesn't really have the time for it, and Electronic makes him pay for it as well. 4-1 for Navi.
That was quick from Electronic, man. That was mental. And Flamey, what a play on B. He gets spotted in the rafters. He drops in the door. He catches poison here. And then, like, that's enough on its own. But he finishes Blame F with the last bullet. Tap.
I never get it, man. Like Flamey, at the moment, it just feels like sometimes he just has these games where he looks so damn good, and whenever he does, it looks very, very comfortable for Navi, right? You see like the benefit of suddenly having like a multitude of players who are able to deliver you these great moments. And it's very nice that it's coming from Flamey. He's always a treat whenever we get to talk to him in like the post-game interviews. I really enjoy our little chats with Flamey.
He's a cool cat. I'll tell you that much.
There have already been a couple of gaps in this T side for Cole where like maybe the comms aren't flowing amazingly. The first one was the Flamey again rushing ramp into lobby and stabbing Blame F in the back. I think it was the pistol, and like Rush hears him, but it's Flamey's so fast that the comm comes in late or doesn't get reacted to, and just there again, Blame also getting punished. Perfecto, how is he alive? He stands in the smoke and finds one, getting shot from below. Boomich on the bomb site, mowing them down, and Simple held out from above as well. He's got a couple more from Flamey, fast off of the ramp, and those rotates for Navi, they are perfection. Flamey, the ramp player, is in heaven before Cole or even out the hut. We look at that, and we look at how far Simple has also been rotating ramp to assist Flamey in some of these rounds. Navi, they're having a good day right now, you can tell.
And now that leaves me wondering why. Why did I change it to Cole to take this series? That's the classic Navi, man. It's classic. Like,
this is them 51% of the time.
Simple's now bringing the AWP outside. This dastardly little double outside of Simple and Electronic that always looks so damn scary, right? Electronic's nearby in main, ready and willing to help out if Simple should need it. First AWP for Simple as well. 7 rounds in, he's had the money for a while. If you remember when they force bought in that second round, he even had extra money left for it. Boomich does throw his life away down through the vent. And now the rotations have got to come through. Flamey looking flustered, does get busted out of the round by Rush. And so a 5-on-3, the bomb getting planted. This might just have to be a reluctant save for Navi, right? That round just decided immediately. The moment that Boomich kill comes in, it's already a pretty dire situation. They know someone is to make something big happen to try and counteract that, to try and give Navi a chance. And so Flamey gets caught barreling into the site just to try and deny that ground right away.
And that's twice now for Boomich, right? Like, obviously, it's the life of the B rotate. It's the cool. How deep are they, guys? How fast are they? And really, if you're outside, Simple, what info does he have? They smoked outside. They could be B. That's all you can give away to your teammate. Boomich comes in lower. Remember last time he was there, he made it all the way to the secret stairs and then got wrecked by Blame F. This time, he doesn't even get out the vent. He looked like he thought he had more time, more room to move, but Cole were fast into that B bomb site, and they keep everyone alive, taking a nice convincing round. Yeah, Boomich needs to figure that one out, because already it's given Cole a lot of free reign towards B.
That's the thing. I remember earlier in the year when we used to watch Navi on Nuke, and it did feel like Boomich was always in a bit of an odd spot, like being this kind of main rotate player, right? And in recent times, it feels like we see Electronic take that main position more and more. Like, so often he's assisting outside, but it feels like he's kind of there to like help out alongside a guy like Boomich at this A site in case of these door rushes to give more room for this rotate. But Boomich, man, I don't know, sometimes he can end up feeling a bit like a sacrificial lamb on this map, right? Like he'll just be the guy to barrel into a site, and normally it doesn't go too well for him.
It really, for Navi, it depends what the spawn lean is, right? If the call is, let's put Electronic B out of spawn, then usually the B holds are fine. But if they don't play lower and they put Simple outside with the AWP and they go, oh, we'll just play rotate, that's when the problems arise. That's when Boomich can get caught off. But Simple, this time, he's got a gap, he's got an angle, and he's got to pick out in the yard, config trading from above. Simple is very deep, and now 6 feet under. 4-on-4, Cole have outside, but the smokes are faded, so they'll look to cover up main.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about those diagonal outside smokes is it tempts the CT AWPer into having to extend into view of the silo, right, to try and peek or challenge through them. That was a nice little way to steal the opener in this round, or I guess get the trade and then take the opener on the follow-up. 4-on-3, and they're wrapping in towards heaven. Flamey and Boomich and Electronic have all preemptively rotated down into this B site. Now, Cole, all they have to do to win this round is not go B. And, well, Oh, they are going down towards B, and this bomb is secret side. Oh, that might lose them the round, honestly. If this bomb gets dropped, it is bye-bye to the round. There it is. JKS, the last man left alive, and with 10 seconds, time becomes the problem. Electronic does get dropped, but there's just not enough time left in the round for JKS. And so Navi, they steal that one back. They were at a man disadvantage. They took a gamble stack in towards B. They didn't even have any information really outside of those couple of outside kills that come through. And they just go, well, look, if they go B, maybe we win. If they go A, we probably just save.
And that's a huge gamble considering the plan for Cole was get rid of simple outside and then throw deeper smokes. They threw standard smokes, they fade, and then Cole throw in one towards main and one towards hell for the windows. That signifies that you're wrapping yard and you're going for a heaven play and trying to split A. So Navi, quite the gamble to drop lower after seeing that util. And it was the perfect call. It was the perfect read. So yeah, really nice round for Navi. Again, just responding cold. They may have found simple yard after one last time, but now they've got to do it again. Poison has the AWP, saved by JKS. Right outside they go. Different smokes again. So many variants. Cole. They get secret for free. The smokes fade. Poison hangs around outside, but he sees nothing. Boomich just dropped vent. This time he's way ahead of them as well. He's dropped a smoke, and he can even leave this position, go down towards playing decon like he likes, or even just hide inside of the B-bomb site. Simple's here as well. Terrifying twosome set up inside of this B-bomb site. JKS is still towards Squeaky. Cole, can they get past Simple and Boomich? There's the smoke. Simple backs up. They know there's two here now. Two smokes have been deployed, and Boomich peeks out thinking it's still smoke. They're already through it. Simple going to get flashed off. Can't take the blind shot. Rush is hounding him down. Flamey's killed Config, but he will get traded, and the bomb gets dropped by the no-scope. Simple is starring off, but he's going to get wrapped from the site. JKS on the lurk almost catches the lobby flank, but Electronic saves his teammate's life, and Cole go into a bomb plant.
This could get out of hand. So much of this round is going to hinge on BlameF's aggression at ramp. Both players here for Navi, and BlameF at least needs a 1-for-1, right, to give Poison that fighting chance. And there's the first, not ready for Electronic on the swing. And so Poison left in the 1v1. The flash is good, and Electronic has seen him now in decon. That's going to trigger Poison to try and reposition. There is a kit on Electronic, and he taps the bomb. It doesn't stick it. Poison wrapping round, and oh no, he's running in. Opens the door. Electronic going to tap the bomb again, trying to bait the peak. Poison now knows, and Electronic's given up the aim of the game. No. It's going to be very, very close, but I don't think he's got it. I think so, Electronic. A damn good try, but Complexity, they will get that third round. Everybody falls, however, on both sides of the coin, and that's going to be a little bit worse for Navi here, as they might have to concede and just take a partial investment on the players that can't afford it.
Oh, nice little clutch there for Poison. Even the rotate round, a fake on the first door open, and Electronic, he realizes too late that he could have stuck it. Was never to know, though. The bomb was planted for everything. One rifle, 4 pistols. That's the call for Navi. It's all they can afford. Simple smokes outside, and so do Cole as they run right through. Simple looking for anything. No one can flash him right now. No one's got the util in yard. And so he can only go through dry, which is obviously a bit of a danger with Cole having 4 players really loving this secret position so far in this map.
It's the stealthily pace that they do it too. It's just creepy almost. JKS gonna be the last one. And he starts to make his move after the smokes fade, potentially catching someone out in the open.
Yeah, he's changed it around as well. He was lobby last time. He got caught when they planted B, so he's trying to lurk at a different position to catch Navi off.
Meanwhile, his team having moved down secret. JKS still holding on to red for the outside rotate. Big just trying to spam through the wall. Get lucky perhaps, but his teammate is out on the site. Not alone. JKS finds Simple in the open, peeking from Big Garage. That really does put a wrench in the works here for this rotation. He's got some intel now. They're going to take a fight with him heads up. It's going to be Perfecto to go down. Who will be next? Flamey coming in from the back lines. JKS is going to skirt on out. Navi don't even seem to be interested in going anywhere near this bomb. So this is going to be a complexity round, 6-4.
Yeah, Config's come into bodyguard JKS, get him out of the red position, who found 2, which is nice. Successful lurk and just guarantees the fact that Navi will not go for this round. Not exactly got the money to bear anyway. Another eco coming up for Navi. Cole, a good chance to build into this T side. Find 5.
Something that I do think is kind of interesting here is that for the first 6 months of 2020, Poison, his worst performances were up against Navi in top 20 teams. And then in the latter 6 months, so the most recent, they've actually gone on to be one of the teams he's best against. So that's going to be an interesting one to see. You do like that kind of development. Another little partial investment here for Navi. As Complexity are getting back into the swing of things. Slowly but surely. And it's another one of these slow rounds, not wanting to get caught by any kind of lobby crunch here from Navi. Looking to set up for an A play. Now, Perfecto's close, but unlike in times gone by where we've often seen this A site in these A plays pretty well endowed, this time around, it's only 2 here. And they're both gone right away, courtesy of Rush. So that's the bomb plant locked in, A site falling, and likely just the save for Electronic at least. You can throw Simple and Flamey at the problem and see what kind of results they can turn out with, but yeah, this will be a 5th on the board for Cole. And so suddenly, you know, that little 6-2, that worrying sign that Navi were kind of on their way to demolish Cole here, somewhat dissipating, somewhat going.
It's slowing. Rush jump spotting towards the big garage. Does get the information, but albeit kind of doesn't matter at this point, does it? 6-5.
Question is for Navi is, okay, they've just double ecoed, they've just waited around. What is their plan, right? Cole have switched it up. They've gone for a lot of yard plays. They go A on an anti-eco. How do Navi want to deal with these secret smokes and what is going on down in that B bomb site? And will Cole continue to do that, or are they going to throw a spanner in the works and try and fake the outside and end up on A? So the mind game's already beginning in this matchup. Navi finally with the money to contest.
Navi slowing down.
Worth noting that the M4 that got saved got dropped over to Simple, which allows him to not have to buy and save. Oh, that's sick. That is wow. Awesome. Perfecto gets dunked on top of the silo. That's a read. We know Cole love to watch their demos. And so right there, very ready for Perfecto's position. Deleted before he even saw an opponent. And yeah, well, I was saying, Simple has more money so you can save for the orb later. Really doesn't matter at this point. Navi are a man down. And that is a horrible way to start a round. Woo. A is free.
Kill is kill.
They even molly the silo after.
Oh, that's sick, man. Like, what a rough round for Perfecto, man. Poor guy never even gets to play the round out, just double naded from the get-go. And Navi, they're forced to save again.
I've never seen anyone double nade that spot because, you know, I didn't think it was even that commonly played. Like, Rafters is more common, or Heaven. But, yeah, I love that for Cole. What a way to get on the board. What a way to break the money again of Navi, who have to save these 3 guns. And even then, they're not away with them yet. Chasing Spawn, though, Cole have gone the wrong way. Navi do keep their weapons on ramp side.
Yeah, and I just want to note here, since we do have just a few seconds, I mean, we're watching Complexity make their move, get outside behind X amount of smokes that are here, and here. But the true hero in this is the fact that JKS can hang here, or really anybody for that matter, and then they can go on to just hold the choke points that are located here, and eventually the idea being to keep anybody from Navi working their way into secret. And that is just a very strong play to hold on to, just a very strong positioning to have in terms of shutting down the rotates from Navi.
Yeah, and considering he's in a different position every time he does it, right, on this lug, it's going to mean that Navi don't know where is safe. Where can we rotate? How do we get to B? That forces them into the vents a lot, and we've seen how that's gone for players like Boomich. So, Cole, this is the makings of what could be a great T-side right now. 3 rounds left of the half, all the money to play with. Navi rebuying back in off of that save. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of an awkward fight for JKS. And in this round, right, Electronic and Simple, they know they have to come up with a solution to this outside play that you were just talking about, Trace. And they think that that might be with Electronic pushed up close. Is anyone going to check this? Ooh. Oh, it feels uncomfortable just to look at. Simple's drawn in the attention. Will they discount Electronic? They're actually not leaning outside any longer, but that's information for Electronic, and Simple can ease up on the outside, right? They know about him. He fired off a few shots, and now he moves away, leaving Electronic there alone. The advantage of that is you're no longer dedicating both Simple and Electronic to this outside hold. Simple is now available to help out at either this A site or ramp, and Electronic has caught the timing on this push. This is a nice setup for Navi, and it's given them a lot of information to go off of. Simple's in hell. Flamey's preemptively rotated down to B, and he's putting on a bit of a show. The jump there to find Rush at the end, and all 3 for Flamey. Ramp room locked in, Navi with a 7th, and they come up with that solution to the outside problem in that round there. Not just solving and denying the outside control, but as mentioned, getting so much information. They throw a set of smokes down towards outside, and they think that that might fool Navi into keeping too many players there, but Electronic had already solidified that, nope, nobody's here. This is pretend, this is a fake, and then that gives him the knowledge that it's all good for the wrap to come in. Navi were just so ready, and Complexity never even knew.
Orbs back out for Poison, though. Simple has not had one for a while. Yard is free yet again. Electronic playing it from main. Simple can spot in the heavens, and Cole are going to go late outside as they often have been. You don't want to throw smokes outside out of spawn against a team like Navi. Very commonly going to molly your smokes. And Electronic does like to throw close red smokes and get up in the business, be a nuisance. Here comes the util outside. Cole going to move to secret once again. It's the red smokes, just standard, simple spotting. The jump up. Poison's been boosted on top of red. Could that be good? Simple's not ready for it right now. Running and reloading, but getting to safety.
This guy knows. He knows everything.
Well, let's see.
Poison, well, his position becoming more and more useless as the time passes. The skirmish ensues, and it's going to be config that falls first. Rush follows up with the trade, and we find ourselves in a precarious 4-on-4. Flamey in hell. That gives Rush the opportunity to bypass him on his way into this upper site.
Oh, Shadow, he saw it. He knows he's up there. He's made the call. Now looking back down, Rush has dropped. Flamey's looked up. That's such unfortunate timing. Baited out by Rush's Shadow. That is a great play for Cole with the time again. 15 seconds. Rush needs to run down towards B. Boomich can win this round off of 1 kill and 1 kill alone. He just needs to hit the right player. Rush moving. Tick-tock goes that clock. There's no cover on Decon right now. Blame needs to be that man, and he does swing out in time, just saving his teammate on the plant. Cole with a chance. 4-on-2. Navi still giving it their all to retake, but do they want to reconsider that fact?
Yeah, this is a save. They're getting out of there. 7 on the board for Cole. And Blame F catching a very important timing, right? There was a whirl where Boomich swings that. Gets Rush off the bomb, and suddenly the round is lost. But Blame F with the read realizes someone should probably be watching that little door down there.
Probably should be. We're going to take a look at this problem area that is outside. Now, we just highlighted about JKS and finding positioning at red, and what's ultimately happened here is the response from Navi. They pushed a player up right here to obscure vision and kind of just really control and dictate what's going on outside. Now, last round, and this round that we're just capping up right now, that didn't really come into play. They only did it one round, and that's all that they needed. But you would think that would be enough.
Yeah, it's actually info that Cole don't have. They never saw Electronic pushed up. He flanked, but he wasn't needed. Flamey got 3 kills on B, and Cole just kind of funneled into Navi's setup. So, if anything, it's not info they have, and that's why they go right back to yard smokes, even though they split deep towards hell. Cole are really convoluting some of these rounds to a great way, and Navi having trouble. 7-7, fast out the door. Boomish with the spray. He's got 2. Third player low. Electronic swings for the help and blink, and you miss it. It's a flawless round for Navi. A shutdown on that A site. Annoying for Cole, but still a great half nonetheless. Let's see if they can build on it and take their map pick when we come back after the break.
Ho!
Cause nobody else is showing any empathy. Rudely awake and quite undertaken. Did I do something wrong? Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here with my thoughts alone? I don't wanna wake up messed up, cause I can spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. I'm so sorry that I didn't go to therapy. Thinking everybody, even you's an enemy. Brutally awake and quite undertaken. Did not do nothing wrong. Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here to get drunk alone? And I don't wanna wake up messed up, cause I can spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. If I am so wrong and so gone, miserable, won't you stick around just for some be visible? But you don't, no you don't care. Leave me to suffer, erase all the doubt. Pouring Jack in my mouth, in a love with enough of the pain and the drugs to be present for now. All I'm right now, I don't wanna wake up messed up, cause I can spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, cause I don't wanna be around.
We jump back into the second half of play here on Nuke, Complexity, and Navi toe-to-toe. Things are pretty even kilter right now. The last round not really looking super hot there for Complexity, but we jump into the second half, and what will they have up their sleeve? This is the Intel Extreme Masters. I'm joined by Harry and Hugo, and myself. You're probably wondering how you got here. Well, you haven't fully arrived yet until you've loaded yourself up to the IEM.gg/fancam. That's going to be your next port of call for us. Begin to dive into Nuke. A lot of answers being had here, but still some to go. Questions don't stop there. We'll
Yeah, it was a really good T-side for Cole. I think they're going to be happy with it. Obviously, ends a bit sour with a flawless round for Navi, but Cole were trying to throw something new into the mix that they hadn't tried, and maybe they'll keep that in their back pocket. Because right now, Navi lead by 1. We've got a pretty competitive game, all things considered. Simple and Flamey being the guys to talk about for Navi right now. Flamey having some lovely rounds on the ramp hold. Got a kit smoke for Rush. We got some Tech 9s in play and a bit of util for Navi. Where will they go? Straight to the lobby. Electronic throwing in a Rafters flash, and it seems like Navi are going fast.
Oh, Flamey leading the way, leading the charge, and down goes Config already. Poison will come in with a response, but this A site has already fallen into Navi hands. And with no flash, this retake setup gets pretty tricky now for Cole, right? Having a retake with everyone through heaven. And normally, if you're going for this, you've got that flash that you can throw from CT coupled with this retake smoke. Instead, they've only got the smoke, so they've got to peek into this dry. That's going to make this a very, very rough round. But luckily enough, they've been given some space here by Navi to get back into this one. Simple, trying to hold from heart. Down goes JKS. And now they know Simple's here, but they don't know where the rest are. Suddenly it becomes all too clear. The triple peak is in, and Blame F gets removed right at the very end. Navi win that pistol, go on to 9, and look to start to string together something special over on this T side.
I love those post plants for Navi as well. They got 1 main, they got 1 door, they got 1 hut, and an open bomb plant as well. Boom is just even on the site with a tech. Like, maybe in another round, he gets like multiple kills there. He gets traded after 1, still does a good job. And then Navi are just triple peeking into 3-on-3s, and Cole can't, you know, pick targets easily.
Where's this nade stack going? That's what I want to know. What do they think's up? Cole are normally pretty good with these nade stacks, right? You'd expect that from a team that watches so many demos of their opponents. You know, Perfecto learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Over on Navi's CT side.
Already some like similarities in the T sides, right? Navi right down behind the smokes, as Cole were doing almost every round of their first half. Yeah, these nades are getting saved for a long time. They were being lined up towards door earlier in case Navi crunch, but now that that hasn't gone to plan for Cole, where do they want to use them? Flamey throwing Heaven utility for the outside. Navi going to work yard. This is similar to a round Cole did, where they faked out taking secret with 1, Electronic is that man, and everyone else moving yard to try and take hell. There are players here to deal with them, though. Blame posted up CT with JKS in upper.
Oh, but now that they know Blame's here,
Ooh.
might need some support from the aforementioned JKS down here in hell. Perfecto's trying to deal with him, and JKS is kind of knocking around, hoping to deal with Perfecto. Oh, Blame F's just baiting them in with the promise of a free kill in CT. That does not work for Perfecto. He gets caught. And now this B site looks to be where Navi end up. Cole, the only site they're not watching, they hear that molly, and that's going to trigger the rotation down in towards B. And once again, they're moving everyone into one position together. All 5 going to try and retake through the ramp room. Now, they've still got these 2 nades. That could be kind of juicy, especially with Boomich behind the silo in the site. The first nade does land there, but the second one doesn't follow up in that position. Boomich trying to put on a bit of a hold, and he's going to have to. There's a second to his name. Electronic coming in through the window, and suddenly this has been stripped away from Cole. Blame all alone, back at the site. Boomich still hidden away, and Electronic holding from the double doors. This is a pretty rough spot for Blame to be in. There's no time for the defuse. And Navi get that round back under control. Boomich and Electronic doing it all in the post plant. And that was the force buy from Complexity. So another eco looming here.
Yeah, that's a really played well round from Boomich. 3-on-5 for Navi in B, and this is such a hard spot to play when you're getting retaken. You can see he spots players on both sides, and it's so hard to not commit to a swing, to try and, you know, win a fight and go down with some glory rather than getting hunted. And yeah, he holds his own really well, picks up 2 on the left, picks up 1 on the right, and then just tucks and gives nothing away until the round is already won. Triple nades again for Cole, but that's all they've got to show in this one. Outside go Navi with more smokes. Oh, deleted. JKS loses his head to the Galil. Sometimes the Galol, but in the hands of Electronic, looks pretty lethal. Outside Heaven Molly again for Flamey. Gonna miss. Hands on the roof. Smoke will do it instead. Navi moving deep outside as well. Ooh. Factor is very low. He's only playing Deeg as well. Not the end of the world, but yeah, these rounds really shouldn't get too problematic for Navi. Gonna drop bomb B. Electronic is very deep, killing Config on that rotate and making noise on lower, but the bomb isn't even here yet. It doesn't matter. Cole, they already know this round is likely lost. It's just about trying to get guns out of it.
Lexi start to make a move into the ramp room. Maybe try to pick up some pieces on the way out the door. Speaking of their way through doorways, this is a doorway into the playoffs. The winner will advance to the quarterfinals, as this is a Group A upper bracket semifinal. We're going to be going to Overpass after this, the pick of Navi. And right now, Navi might be walking into that one with a map advantage. Still early days, though.
Yeah, FaZe have already made it to the quarters as well, which is not a statement that maybe many were expecting. They may have had a great run at New York, but you know, getting rid of Nico since that point, everything going on inside of that team, Olaf coming back, they're exceeding expectations right now. Can they keep it up? That would be incredible for FaZe. Quite the turnaround. And obviously, if they could, then boy, our apology would need to be way louder than our disrespect.
One of the things that's so wild about that is, you know, when we cast FaZe on day one, I was like bigging up Cold's error a lot. Well, you know, then it came out obviously that he's got coronavirus.
Yes, the COVID. Right? Yes.
And he even said how like he hadn't touched CS for like 4 or 5 days, I think it was, and that makes like the efforts he's been able to put in the server, having to lead and frag while being sick, that much more impressive, man. Cole's just someone who keeps demanding respect, and you got to give it to him. JKS at ramp, he's being given no respect here. Config removed as well, and now, like already, this is looking like a Navi round. There should be very little you can do here if you're Complexity to get back into this one. Electronic is the only man who could fall to give you a way back in, and Complexity aren't even interested. Plus, Electronic isn't going to give you this kill, right? He's just not going to look to give it away. He's not going to overextend. He'll wait instead for Cole to make the mistake, and there could have been it. And now a 3-on-3. All right.
They're saving. It's too far gone.
They're just too far away, man.
So far. And Harry, you talk about Poison. Obviously, he had to save in this round. Didn't really get a chance. He got double mollied out of hell on that rotate. But, you know, sometimes or it was more the storyline of the recovery, him having bad games against Navi, and then later in the year having better games. This is a rough start for him. He's 6-13. Had the AWP a few rounds on the T side. Never really saw it play in. Haven't had that head-to-head between him and Simple. Simple had the AWP in Garage twice, and then never again. And really not needing to AWP on the T side of Nuke either, with how Navi are playing, just moving behind these smokes. A lot of the rounds, ramp crunch right there. Nothing too difficult for Navi. They get the pick, they double molly, they have lurkers outside.
I tell you what as well, I wish we could get games like this from Flamey every single Navi game. It just feels like, man, whenever you've got like that third player stepping up, usually it's Flamey or Perfecto, the Navi looks so good. Because suddenly, like, the freedom is there for guys like Simple or Electronic to be able to go for things that are ballsy. And, like, these guys go for ballsy plays anyway. But it's like, you know, often you feel like maybe they're a bit restricted because they need to be alive later in the round on, like, an average day for Navi.
Oh.
That's a lot of damage from Electronic. Don't know how he doesn't get away with it.
Poison looked away right as Electronic went for the peak. Electronic has been the closer, man.
So aware.
Today he's the opener, but 4 deaths in this entire map so far. Bit of a beast. Simple is going to get picked outside, but Electronic looking to finish the job onto Poison. And he is in no rush. Oh, he's seen him. Even a flashbang hitting Poison would spell the end of his round.
Got a smoke credit card, just dies to it.
Not a lot of time for Navi. Boomich made the jump. Did Poison see? He looks
seems
aware.
very aware, doesn't he? Like, little too aware for somebody who doesn't know someone's up there. Still looking at it, still interested, but Boomich is just hidden. 25 seconds. Navi is just going to look to explode into this A site all of a sudden. Config could get caught by Boomich dropping down, and he does. Rush fully blind off the angle, and in the blink of an eye, this site has fallen into Navi's hands right at the final seconds. It was looking good for Cole. And then that decision to pull Poison away from outside, I think through Boomich just not moving for so long. Like, Poison's like, well, I guess he's not there. I guess I must have imagined it. And then he drops down, finds Config, the flashes go in, and Rush is just hung out to dry up on top of the rafters. This was great awareness from Electronic as well. But man, that's a rough round for Cole. And this slow style of play that we're getting from Navi, as is pretty typical, is really working out well for them. It means they're dodging a lot of the attempts at like this utility that comes through for Complexity. It also means that like Cole don't want to go pushing for any information anywhere, because you're always worried that Navi are just going to be waiting for you to make that mistake, to come to them. And so they're having to play very, very reactively right now. And as we've seen, like, so many of these rounds have gotten down to the final 15 seconds as the pushes are coming in. And then there's a rainy utility in. Cole normally have nothing left at that point in time to respond with, either in terms of utility of their own.
Cole aren't even getting gunfights at this point. They're, you know, Navi are dropping in main with 30 seconds, getting 2 picks, and Cole are dead before they even see their opponent. And to add on to all of that, Harry, the one thing that Poison has been doing is picking simple. He's done that a couple of times now on this CT side, taking him out as the first man down for Navi. Rare to see firstly, but Navi is still converting rounds with simple dead in the first 30 seconds, and that's a great sign for Navi, a team that we often, you know, say rely on this guy. Right now doing it, I don't want to say without him, he's still performing, he's had a great game, but in some of these T rounds, they've not needed him, and that's great for Navi. Getting it done nonetheless, no rounds dropped on this T side.
And I think one of the other problems right now that Cole may be feeling is that nowhere feels safe. Like, there's not one area of the map that you've been able to hold down reliably. JKS has looked pretty shaky at ramp, and that reflects in the stats as well. He's 1-4 in opening duels. Ramp has been a problem whenever these B plays have looked to come through. And this outside hold has been, you know, like, kind of hit and miss. It's weird. Often, as you say, they're finding something from this position. But then you have rounds like this where Navi really do want to take outside control, and they're not just putting players here early. They often get it, right? They often get Electronic down through Secret. And just having someone in this position, you can see the problems that it causes for Complexity. They have to wrangle a couple of rotates down towards this B site in the form of JKS and Blame F, but that's going to soften up other areas of the map, and this is something that's been helping Navi in a lot of these late round executes. Electronic just holding, being patient, but JKS does get the better of him. And so a man advantage for Complexity. Once again, Navi are in no rush, right? They know that they've got this big lead, they've got the firepower that Complexity do not have, they've got utility that Complexity don't really have.
And right now they have the keys to the vessel. Poison looking onward from ramp with the scout. No one's coming there just yet. They're going to be throwing some utility out the doorway here. Simple drops a Molotov on that opposite vent. And maybe, just maybe, Complexity spring to, you know, at least checking Squeaky or getting the hell out of Dodge, because Rush is playing up real close.
That smoke is big. 30 seconds as a door smoke comes in. Navi are going to have to go elsewhere if they want to actually win this round, or just dive through it as it fades. It's not going to leave them with a lot of time for error. Boomich on a main wrap. Double door. Setup simple. Dominates Rush. And surely not ready for Config, but he is. Config still gets 1. 10 seconds. There's the flank. The bomb has been dropped in the door, and no one has gone back for it. This round is over. Navi leave it behind. And that's going to be Cole picking up a half by an eco round to some degree. JKS, oh, he's not even needed. It's Poison from above, catching Boomich, waiting on the ladder. That's a heartbreaker for Navi. That was their round to win right there. If you know, Config didn't get that kill, or if Navi went back for the bomb in time, they have the plant, and they likely have that 2-on-2 post plant as well.
And that's not the only heartbreaker, Hugo. Rest in peace to Alex Trebek, former host of Jeopardy. Bit of some of your childhoods. Well, a bit of my childhood, I suppose. Nonetheless, this isn't going to be too much of a heartbreak for Navi. They've got money still stacked to the ceiling currently. So they'll be able to reinvest and buy again. What's up, FanCam peeps? IEM.gg/FanCam. Head over there. So we go into a little bit of a no pause, actually. We're going to be jumping straight into the next round.
Karlov bought themselves a lifeline here, right? Their first round win on an eco as well. It leaves their bank accounts pretty padded. They've got the ore back on Poison. Let's see if that's going to continue to be able to open up these rounds outside. That round, Electronic went very fast behind the smokes. He did die Secret. That left Navi in a bit of a predicament. They were kind of relying on him to get something done down on B. Draw enough of a rotation, but Cole holds strong. Simple eats a nade. First T-side ult we've seen from him. And he is leading the charge. Not for long. Poison again finding that opener. Looking to recover in one way or another. Boomich spotted atop the roof as well, and Poison gives it up, goes very passive. Config's gone through a smoke. That was in door. Not the start he wanted. And we know how quickly Boomich can drop in on main and stab this player in the back. Usually that is Config, but right now it's Blame who's just dropped down the vent knowing the outside is conceded. The info isn't really there. Poison makes the call. They could be lower. And so BlameF has to have his wits about him, but he's at least confirmed there's nothing going down for the time being. And with Navi going roof, are they setting up for another A execute? Could be the right call. There's only Rush here currently.
It could be the play. Electronic just waiting to drop a Molotov on that first contact. Right now, they've walked right out the squeaky door, and no one's home just yet. Except they are. They're lying in wait. Poison and Rush trying to hold together this upper site. Leaves just Electronic. They just figured out here for Navi in their side. 30 seconds left on the clock. He's already out squeaky. 2 players in heaven. It's Poison and JKS. Blame F. Well, he'll get there eventually. He's just holding, make sure no one drops through the vents. Yeah, but he's got to win some duels right here. He takes down Blame. That's a great start. Fantastic start. They've dropped on him. Oh, look at that. Almost a spray transfer. And JKS, blind as a bat, gets it done.
Scary.
He's going to go back for that AWP and get the defuse. 9 for Complexity.
Very scary stuff. Nice try for Electronic, but 3 players coming right at him. Blame flying up the vents the second he hears that bomb plant. A nice round for Poison as well. Coming alive. It was about time. We didn't get to see him on that T-side, but he's had a few nice orb shots, some openers right there, finding 3 in the round, trading his teammate in A. Rush gets 1 for 1 and still does damage to the second. Decent hold considering he's a solo anchor player there. 13-9. Back-to-back rounds for Cole could signal something. Can they break the money of Navi in this one?
Yeah, they need to, really, right? Like, because their money is not really in any better spot. Like, whoever wins this round is laughing all the way to the bank. There's a lot riding on it, because for Navi, this round here could be the one that locks them in a victory on this map. And for Cole, this can be their way to get it even closer, to get back into the swing of things, and to finally build up a buffer of money. It's another slow burner from Navi. And that's the thing, like, coming into this round, Cole had a lot more utility than the Navi side did. And this is the advantage of this slow style of play from Navi, right? Look at it now. Navi are the ones with more in their back pocket. And that's going to come in handy late in the round, especially with no smokes, 1 incendiary. That's the extent of it. They throw outside smokes.
A again.
But that's not where this is looking to end up. 2 players in the A site, and Poison can rotate in quickly to help out. A lot of this is going to come down to how much Config gets away with. Boomich wrapping through main again is the problem for Cole. Rush does what he can, but ultimately might not be enough here. It's left Complexity in a 2-on-3, and as mentioned, their money is at breaking point. So do they want to go for this one? If they save here, this AWP and M4 is pretty much all they're taking with them into this follow-up round. With Navi on 14, that's a bit of a rough spot to be in. Poison shooting there to cover the sound of him dropping.
Yeah, they'll never hear that loud AWP. That's one that Navi have dry run before. Boomich hits the best timing on saving his teammate's life, dropping in through main. That's the entire round for Navi. They throw outside smokes. They pull Cole back. Very passive into yard, Blame fighting CT. And then they just split A again, right? Contact outdoor, not really giving any warning to Cole. Config has a good position. He's just about to kill those door players. And then boom, Boomich hits him in the face, and again, Config dies without even getting to fight. That's been so many of his CT rounds playing main in this game. It's Boomich's great timings coming in from the roof. And Navi just overwhelm A in an instant. Double opener for Boomich, there it is. Beautiful work, and that was Navi's economy on breaking point. Similar story for Cole.
Yeah. One of the big differences between how these CT sides look like they're playing out right now is think about that little duality between Boomich and Electronic over towards main, and the advantage that then brings to the A bomb site is you've got Perfecto as your anchor player, normally up on top of the rafters or the silo, and then you've got Boomich playing in the site with him, with support from Electronic if needed, and that's something that I think Complexity could really benefit from right now, is that third presence towards the A site. So many of these rounds have just ended up in these late A plays, and as mentioned, Config in main, he's been getting kind of bodied, man. So many of these rounds, he's been smoke shot. Think about the one by Simple, then by Flamey in the round after, wrapped by Boomich twice from main. And then, you look at how Complexity are trying to remedy their outside, and a lot of it has been with, Poison on the AWP in Garage, Blame in CT, and it's a much more, passive approach to dealing with the outside play, and it's allowing for these main wraps to come in and do so much damage in the first place.
Yeah, well, look at it this way, too. I mean, we're at pretty much a crucial point here for Complexity too, because not only did they go and get a tactical timeout, Navi follows it up with one of their own back-to-back timeouts. So extra time to maul this one over.
Yeah, it's not like Navi are even doing what Cole were doing on the T side and committing behind the smokes and playing secret. They've rarely actually played B. They've been using that outside control to pull players backyard, and at least buy room for Boomich to drop main. Buy room for Boom. Maybe that works.
I like that. No, man, I would love to see Blame and Config doubling up towards main side, right? Config playing in the site with Rush. And then Poison, man, he's been good on the AWP outside. He can be assisting guys here and then come in for those fast heaven rotates, because that's something that has won Cole rounds here and there.
This would be the perfect round for Navi to use the smokes to go B, because Cole haven't even really had to deal with lower rotations in this game. They don't really know what Navi have got in store for them on that B bomb side. And so this could be that round. You can already see two behind red. Boomich again dropping. Flashed off his Blame. Where does he want to go? It's such a hard spot. And he does catch Boomich falling off of main, but it's all a bait. Again, Navi are down lower with two in secret. A couple more on the ramp. JKS, he has to hold strong here. If he stops a split, Cole can retake B with advantages. And there it is. JKS spraying, but only good for one. The lineup for Poison, and he only gets a single kill. Still winnable for Navi, but those rotates are in. Config has already gotten out through the vent, and he is unknown.
Yeah. Whoa, the jump though, Flamey. Oh, gets him. And that's a disaster. Bomb now down again. Cole having a retake through the ramp room. Both players here. Electronic just hidden in the back of the site, and he's got support from Flamey in the window room. This is a pretty deadly crossfire for Navi to have. First man does get in, but that's when Electronic strikes him down, and Blame falls as well. That was looking like a winnable round for Cole. And on top of that, they actually did play the AAA just then, the one that we were talking about, right? They had Poison helping out over towards main with Config.
Why wouldn't they?
Blame holding down outside. That allowed for the fast rotate down through the vents into B as well. The responses from Complexity are great, but then it kind of gets thrown away as they're so busy trying to get back into that round before the bomb's gone down. Config gets caught, gives up the 3-on-2, and it all kind of falls apart from then on in.
Yeah, it's some great calling for Boomich right now. The manipulation Navi are doing on this T side is really, really good. And you can even see it happening. You can see Cole trying to fix the problems. Now new problems arise. Now just trying to brute force their way out A. Flamey traded. Poison in rafters. Electronic with a miss spray, and JKS punishes him off the ramp push. It's Simple alone, but we know this man likes a clutch or two. Not today. Config responds. And that's kind of similar to how Cole ended their half as well. They were like, yeah, we've got a good T side, everything's going well, let's run outdoor. And Navi try and do it to close the map. to similar results.
That was the first round in this whole CT side thus far where we've seen JKS come in with ramp progression, and the results of it are pretty damn great, right? He gets away with that finishing kill, and that's something I would love to see JKS be able to take advantage of even more, right? Especially when you think about how Cole have been geared up towards outside. Often you've had Blame or Poison as people who can rotate in and take ramp room if JKS were to fall on that aggression. You think about what Navi have been doing, and while they have had, you know, like one or two players sitting lobby to watch for that push, the majority of their forces in the beginning of the rounds are up on T roof, are lining up utility for outside, are challenging the AWP outside, or just trying to keep his attention there. And that is how these slow plays are kind of boiling down for Navi. And that's something that Complexity just haven't had the information on because they haven't gone seeking it out. And so I do like JKS taking the initiative, getting aggressive. At that point in time, Complexity kind of have nothing to lose, right? Either they win that very weak buy or they lose it and the game's done. So it's kind of just throw everything at the problem and see what works. And the aggression gives them great results there to find a 10th. Question now, though, is that too little too late? Is that realization that this was something that maybe they could have gotten away with rounds ago not going to be enough to tip the scales to get us to an overtime? Because they need 5 in a row. Yeah. And the most they've managed thus far on this CT side yet was 2 in a row, and that's 2 of the 3 rounds they've been able to pick up.
Technical pause coming in, some ping issues as they were. The online era continues.
Numbers are good for Navi. Flamey Electronic having great games. Electronic still just not dying, closing so many of these rounds for Navi. And Cole, yeah, struggles street right now. At least saving their bacon with a little bit of a low buy there, but they need to be flawless, as said. Easier said than done.
Well, we do sit idly by, just waiting the continuation of the matchup itself. Again, ping the issue here. Ping, always the issue everywhere. Not just here, but in your day-to-day life. Some of you are lagging on your pursuit and your efforts to get into the fan cam. IEM.gg/fancam. Join us, turn your webcam on. Don't be a weirdo. That's basically all you've got to do, is not do anything strange, or racist, or sexist, or homophobic, or any of those things.
Otherwise known as strange.
Yes. 15-10, quite the cliffhanger to stop on, all things considered.
Yeah.
For Complexity, they're just holding on to what they've got.
I just want to keep seeing more fight out of Cole, man. Like,
they've got it. You know, they've got the fight in them.
Oh, 100%, man. And like, even when you think about how, like, okay, so we spoke a lot about outside and how Cole have approached it. And obviously, Navi haven't really been running outside all too much. A lot of the time, at most, they send Electronic down through Secret. But, you know, even thinking to that one, like, partial buy that got close for Complexity, it was on the back of them sending 2 players to aggress Secret to deal with Electronic. So many of these rounds where it's come down to the rifles, it's felt like Complexity are playing so passive that it's giving, like, Navi all the room they need to get geared up for these late plays. One of the biggest problems for Navi with this slow play style is the fact that, and this is something that we've seen lose them rounds before, is that all it takes is for teams to get aggressive, to get that info. And, you know, when you've only got 15, 20 seconds left, like, you're committing where you're seen. You're not going anywhere else. You don't have the time to. And Complexity never have that information. They are forced to play very reactive Counter-Strike while Navi have all the room and all the territory they need. If you're giving Navi that much respect, you can only expect to lose a game, you know? Like, you need to be taking something away from them early on.
Yeah. And Cole are actually really good, usually in games that are aggressing CT yard, like, you know, pushing Poison Red with the AWP. They have some great flashes for that. You often see Blame glaving it as well, dropping that close red smoke. He has tried that already, and he did get caught by Electronic. But even having a couple of players there and actually some supporting cast as well, not just one man out on his own. But yeah, it's you know, it's an easy thing to call. Navi aren't really running yard off of spawn. They are going for late smokes a lot of these rounds as well, which does complicate things as Cole hears spam in lobby, they hear footsteps radio, and they don't want to rotate hard outside and then be caught on a ramp rush. Like, because Navi have been at least throwing new things in every now and then. They have occasionally rushed ramp or gone for a quick A split. as well as taking, you know, Secret. I just love how many options there are on this map right now, and Navi are exploiting all of them.
You could combine that with the efforts of Config and Mini, and just sort of the house of cards, the domino effect it has when he falls. Navi have taken this upper site time and time and time again. We are just waiting on Rush to reconnect to the server.
Do we know where JKS is staying right now? Obviously, he's in Europe.
I think...
Is he in London as well with Rush?
I don't think so, actually. But, again, we're not privy to that information on the books, of course.
Yeah, JKS, man, he's a world traveler.
They call him Mr. Worldwide, but
yeah.
I think someone already took that name. Someone far lesser.
Absolutely.
Hey, hey, hey. Don't start the party. No? Sorry.
I like it. I like it.
The party is stopped currently.
Cole looking for a +1 right now.
Looking for Ringer.
Dot need.
I miss the days of IRC when you could just log on. There'd just be hundreds of people looking for ringers at any given time. Only to join a scrimmage and then get the whole team kicked after you lose the first 4 rounds. So,
is that you?
No, but you know, I've seen that, and maybe it's happened to me, but like I'm not gonna admit to that. Come on now.
What happened on IRC stays on IRC.
Yeah, it has actually. Once upon a time, sort of a archaic technology now, but even then you can still see remnants of it. I mean, look at Twitch chat, for example. Look at Discord, for example. When I say look at Twitch chat, I'm talking about each and every individual one of you taking a good, deep look at yourselves, thinking about what you would do in this situation. And you can let us know exactly what those thoughts are using hashtag IEM. That's short for Intel Extreme Masters. We're going to be jumping back into the game. Got just about a minute away, I've been told. Get the cameramen resituated inside of the server.
Yeah. Got to set the cameras back up.
Well, they got to have a union break, right? So, like...
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Now, that's good. Thought you were going to say something there, Trace, but it was just little noises, actually, as it turns out.
Didn't come from me.
Man, this is just like a rough one to call right now as well, because as we've been saying, like it feels like there's so many options open to Navi, and that's because there are, but also I think it's because if you complexity, it's not like you've looked at anything Navi have done and been like, yeah, we shut that one down confidently, right? Like they don't want to run that one again. It's like, it just feels like anything is possible from the Navi side because pretty much everything they've tried has been successful. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Rush has been the best performer for Cole in this game as well. He had a lot of nice entries on the T side, bursting out Hut. And on A, well, he's been attacked almost every round, often putting up a fight, finding at least one. But other than when he's been supported by the Orb in Heaven, it's often been Navi taking that A site. And let's find out where they go. They've had all the time in the world to build a plan for this round. Now, they're not exactly rich. They've also got no loss bonus. And so it might just be that force up for Navi. I saw an AK. Let's see how they choose to disperse their funds. Rush buying a Famis has a UMP in spawn. I think he's realized now. Oh, no. But not the end of the world. Cole are up against map point on their pick, so even one round lost would reveal us overpass Navi's choice in the series. Are we going to get there, or can Cole drag us to overtime, kicking and screaming? It won't be quick. Smokes again. Yard for Navi. Back to the lobby. All is well and good.
Ooh, something I love. We got Blame F, gone aggressive this round in through Secret. And this is something that's nice because it's going to let him get the information that even though there's these outside smokes down, at least as far as he's aware right now, there's no one here pushing behind it. So now there's information gain. Now Electronic can take advantage of this, right? This kind of misinformation. JKS having to hold the ramp room solo, and it doesn't work out for him. Electronic catching the timing onto Blame F. Cole, they're at least aware that this is looking like a B play, so they get the early rotation in, but Poison's out of the round. And so Config and Rush, they're the two left alive. Make that just Rush in a 1v3. Navi, get that bomb down lower. Simple, Electronic, and Flamey, three of the top fraggers left alive. This is a very rough spot for Rush to be in, and he can't get it done. Navi, they take the map pick of Complexity, and they make it look pretty easy along the way. They go 1-0 up in this series, and now we look to overpass Navi's map pick coming up in just a moment. So stick around and join us after the break.